how's it going? Miss Veal here, and I wanted to show you guys how to make new crayons from old ones. Look at this bag. So many I've collected. Sometimes we have too many, and some of them are kind of grimy, and some of the paper's really ugly. And it's just like, you know, we just need to not see these anymore. They take up a lot of space. No one's really using them. So let's turn them into something better. Okay, so what I have today is old crayons, broken crayons, sad crayons, crayons that need new life. What I also have, silicone candy molds. So I have some hearts, I have some pumpkins, I have some awesome puzzle pieces. There's my puppy, he said hi. I have some seashells, okay? So if you have silicone molds, I recommend that you do this. If you don't, you could probably use like a muffin tin with, if you have the silicone muffin liners, or if you just have the paper ones, I think that might be okay. You might just have to double up or put some parchment paper down. So I recommend silicone molds. If not, I can do some research for you. And if you have any questions, just send them in the comments or to my email, and then I'll answer them for you. I'll do some investigating, okay? So what you'll need to do, for my younger kiddos, you definitely need a parent, because it might, you know, we might be using a knife or two to try and help us get some of this paper off. So a lot of times my kiddos like to peel their crayons. And if you're a peeler, then peel away. You'll need to start peeling and put your trash in its own little compartment, or get like a plastic baggie to put it in, okay? So you wanna get your crayons nice and clean. Then when they're nice and clean, you wanna break them up small. And I have a whole nother section of my already unwrapped crayons, okay? So you can peel your crayons, or I like to use an X-acto knife. It saves my fingernails. So if you have a parent around, I would recommend seeing if they have an old X-acto knife, okay? Or a box cutter, that'll work too. And then what you'll do is you'll just carefully cut down the length of your crayon. I don't know if you can see that. And then it should all peel off, ooh, that's so satisfying, in one go. So now you have a really big crayon. You'll break it off into smaller pieces. So if parents, you want to do the cutting and the kids do the breaking, that is totally fine. You can also, you know, in my classroom, I always run out of black and white and blue. Those are the three colors that are so used in my room. So sometimes what I like to do is just make a whole section of black, whole section of white, and a whole section of blue, and then make whole new crayons. You can get crayon molds off of Amazon that are actually, you know, regular crayon shape. So that's a really cool thing to do, because we have a bunch of broken ones. It's just, you know, getting them back together that takes a little bit of time, but this is so much fun. And you can just do a few a day and just see how it goes. While you're doing this, you want to preheat your oven to about 200 to 220. I've seen other crayon tutorials that say like 275, 300. Those end up, at least to me, depending on the crayons you're using, they end up kind of smoking, and you don't want your house to be smoky. So I say the lower the temperature, the better, and that'll just lengthen your time. I normally I set a timer for maybe like 20 minutes, but I'm always checking every 5 minutes to see when all my crayons melt. So we'll get to that in a moment. But so you want to take your X-acto knife, or if you're a peeler, start peeling away and peel your old crayons. Keep the paper separated. Break them apart if that's what you're doing. I'll do a couple more because this is really fun. I haven't done this in a while. If you don't like, you know, colors like brown, and if you don't want those in your mix, you can pull those to the side and just keep the brighter colors. It's really cool if you have metallic colors too. This is a metallic silver, so that'll be nice to add to our little mix of crayons here. So I just did a couple for you guys just to kind of tell you guys how to do it. But now I have my big box, And now this is the fun part. You get to kind of put your colors together and make your own new crayons. Okay, so when you start breaking these up, okay, you're gonna wanna take your mold and you're gonna wanna just kind of, you know, put your little crayons in there. If they're not breaking, you might ask your parent to, you know, cut or break your crayons for you. You can use that X-acto knife to cut them into smaller bead-like sections, and then you just kind of spread out your colors. The colors you put on the bottom are probably going to be on the top of your little mold, so you want to make sure that whatever you're putting down there is a color that you like. Okay? So we can do, let's see, I'm actually going to move these, put all my yellowish looking ones over here. And then I'm going to do some purple. So look, we have purple and yellow for Calvary. Go Cavs! Man, I really miss seeing you guys. But I hope you guys are having so much fun at home. Okay. Ah, some of these crayons are really easy to cut and some of them are hard. Okay, so now I'm going to mix. You can do colors that are similar, so you can do a bunch of purpley pink colors together. Your yellows, you can do a bunch of yellows and oranges together, or you can just kind of make them rainbow and just see what you get. I like doing both, just because I like seeing the mixes that happen. Okay, so I'm gonna fill them up. So after you fill them up, you want them kind of almost overfull, just because there's going to be some gaps in here, and when your crayons start to melt, it'll start to fill in the gaps. So let's see, I'm just going to put this big boy right there, so it's kind of overfilled, but then as it melts it should even out. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a couple more. And then when you get ready to put your silicone sheets in the oven, see how they're kind of flexible? You want to get probably just a regular cookie sheet to put underneath it. If you have parchment paper, I would put a layer of parchment paper or even aluminum foil on top of that cookie sheet, so that if there's any overflow of the wax, it doesn't hurt your bakeware. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut a couple more. Fill up some of these, and then the fun part, put it in the oven at about 200 to 220 degrees and let it sit for about at least 15 minutes, and just check it every 5 minutes after that so that you don't burn your crayons and smoke up your kitchen. All right, I hope you guys loved this idea to kind of recycle and reuse, because this is Earth Day week, and I just want you guys to remember we have so many things that we need to be thankful for, and there's lots of things that we can reuse and repurpose and bring new life to them, just like our sad little old crayons here. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see what funky shapes and what funky colors you guys make. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you next time.